Hey there, and welcome. Are you ready to upgrade your English? Move beyond those basic verbs like say or tell? Well, you are in exactly the right place. Today, we're going to dive into some really powerful verbs that will make your English so much more precise and way more expressive. Let's get right into it.
Just look at the difference here. On the left, it's a simple statement. It's fine. My friend said she was happy. Okay? But look at the right side. My friend yelled she was happy. Whoa! Now we have a picture in our heads, right? We can feel the emotion. The only thing that changed was one single word, the verb. That's the power we're going to unlock today. I like to think of it like this. Getting good at these verbs is like upgrading your communication from an old black and white TV to a full-color, high-definition screen. You're not just telling people things. You're painting a really vivid picture for them with your words.
So how do we start painting that picture? Well, let's kick things off with our first category, verbs that are all about expressing emotion and feeling through sound. Now, check this out. Two loud verbs, but they can mean completely different things. You might yell for your favorite sports team when they score. That's pure excitement. But you would scream if you saw a spider on your desk. See? Same high volume, but the emotions are worlds apart. Here's a perfect little story to show what I mean. Ivan's wife wasn't angry at the bucket, right? She screamed because she was completely shocked. That one verb, screamed, tells us her exact emotional state. We don't need any other explanation. It's all right there.
Okay, let's flip it and go to the other end of the volume scale with whisper. Now, this verb isn't just about being quiet. The context is everything. If you whisper a secret to a friend, that suggests you're close. If you whisper in a movie theater, you're just being considerate. So even our quietest verbs carry a ton of social meaning. All right, let's build on that idea and look at some trickier situations. English has a fantastic toolkit for talking about disagreements, and choosing the right verb here is absolutely key.
So what is the difference between argue and quarrel? It's a great question. You might argue with a friend about politics. You're using facts, reasons, it's more of an intellectual debate. But you might quarrel with your neighbor because their dog won't stop barking. See? That's much more emotional, much more personal.
And here's another really important one. A teacher might criticize your essay. They're pointing out specific mistakes, but the goal is to help you get better. It's constructive. But if you complain about terrible service at a restaurant, you're just expressing your frustration. The intention behind the verb changes everything.
Okay, now we're getting into the verbs of influence. These words aren't just about talking. They are about making things happen. They're about getting people to act. It really helps to think of these three verbs on a spectrum of power. At one end, a child might beg for a new toy. A little further up, a friend might insist on paying for lunch. And at the very top, a general might command their soldiers. Each verb shows a totally different level of power and social status. And that brings us back to our friend Ivan. In his English lesson, he said he commanded his wife to make him coffee. Now, on the surface, it might seem like a small thing, but the verb he chose, well, it has some serious implications. And here's the big lesson. His teacher gently pointed out that command suggests a boss and employee relationship, which isn't usually how you talk to a partner. His simple verb choice showed a little bit of a cultural misunderstanding, and that's exactly what we mean when we say these words carry real social weight. So, we've looked at emotions, disagreements, and persuasion. We've covered a lot of ground. Let's wrap this all up by talking about how you can actually start using this amazing new toolkit. So why does all this matter? Well, because when you master these verbs, you're doing so much more than just learning new words. You're learning to speak with real precision, to express your feelings clearly, and to understand the social dynamics happening around you. It even makes you a better listener. And honestly, it just makes your English sound more natural and authentic. Let's look at one final really powerful example. She said I should eat vegetables. That's okay, it gets the point across. But she insisted I eat vegetables. Ah, now we feel her determination, don't we? We understand the whole situation with that one single word. That is the upgrade we're talking about. So as you go about your week, I want you to listen for these words. Notice how people use them. And more importantly, start trying them out yourself. Don't be afraid to experiment. The only question left is, which new verb are you going to use first? Thanks for joining me today.